As an avid music enjoyer, lover, I go through phases, you know? Recently, I just went through a phase of listening to rock, different eras of it, you know, from like Alice in Chains to Fleetwood Mac, like all of these beautiful bands, you know? And recently, I've been getting back into, hip hop, R&B, all the good stuff. And I fucking get it, okay? I am like 9 years late to this absolute masterpiece by the boy, the man, the myth, the legend, Donald Glover, also known as Childish Gambino. I was listening to this in the car for like another listen through because I tried listening to this album a few years ago and I just don't think my dumbass was mentally mature enough to actually listen to this album. I was like, well, it doesn't sound like a radio hit, so why the hell would I listen to it? If I could go back and slap myself in the face, I would, trust me. I'm right there. But I can't. So instead of dogging on my previous self, I'm gonna hop right into this album 9 years late. And man, I have a lot of thoughts on it. I first met the Glove through various media growing up as a child, different songs of his. Let me see, I believe a Bonfire. Yeah, Bonfire, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I remember listening to that beautiful single or off the album Bonfire. I remember listening to that as a child. Then I came across him in his acting career through Community. And obviously through various tracks like This Is America. I never really dove deep into this man's discography, which was a mistake. But jumping into Awaken My Love is honestly one of the best experiences I've had listening to music. This album encapsulates so many different feelings and emotions and just the state of the world at the time of him making this album. Another album that kind of reminds me near the end of this album is Jon Bellion's new album, Father Figure, that just came out. There are struggles within Awaken My Love where he's talking about him becoming a father and the worries about that. And yes, you know what? I'm not that poor. I do have a mic arm. It is right here. I just feel like I give off more information and I'm more engaged if I'm like freehanding it, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I'm more in it. Going through some of the meanings, obviously I came up with my own interpretations of what these songs meant to me, but going through some of the meanings of these songs, it just unravels a deeper meaning and consensus to the album as a whole. When you have absolute bangers like Baby Boy near the end of the album, which honestly might be one of my favorite ones, or along with the instrumental track of The Night Me and Your Mama Met, dude, absolutely phenomenal. Dude, I literally can't get over some of the amazing parts of this. Have Some Love is just a wonderful song about connecting to different aspects of brotherly love, if you get what I mean. It really pulls from that Marvin Gaye inspiration from, I believe What's Going On is the name of the record that I'm referring to. Yeah, What's Going On. What a beautiful record that is from 1971. If you haven't listened to it yet, honestly, Marvin Gaye is probably one of the biggest inspirations to a lot of the hip-hop R&B that we hear today. Another thing that I like to point out that I wasn't a fan of when I first listened to this album years ago, which was the different vocal distortions that Donald Glover uses throughout the album. Don't get me wrong, I listened to Redbone. Everyone's heard Redbone. That is beautiful, and it's crazy. If you ever watch the live version, I believe it was Stephen Colbert that he's on doing it. Phenomenal. It's crazy how he can do that. But throughout the whole track list, there's different ways that he's manipulating his voice to try to bring out a different persona, some would say, or like maybe it's a way of him having a mask to talk about these things, which is shown in the album cover. I'm not sure if that's a mask or not, but it's a very disturbing fucking face for sure. Just the white eyes and the very prominent cheeks. I don't know, man. It's terrifying in a way. Beautiful at the same time. Bro, I don't know. This album is so good. By no means is this like a deep dive into how perfect and minute every detail is of this album. I'm just expressing something that I've listened to, that I really enjoy, and I hope there's someone out here who's watching this and goes, holy shit, I feel the same way. That's all I want here. That's all I want here is to bring up points and maybe someone connects with it in a way and understands like the love for this album. California is one of the most wild, wacky tracks that I've heard as well. It's basically about him falling in love with this, talking to this female, and it has a lot of aspects of obviously California, weed, girls, beaches, all that kind of stuff. And then followed up by Terrified, which is him realizing he's falling in love with this person, and he's terrified if he can actually commit to something like that, which is a feeling I'm sure many people have when it comes to falling in love with someone, especially in a fast tempo, if that makes sense. I'm just throwing words out. Riot and Zombies, those are two records that I man, it was kind of hard to listen to in some way. Zombies is really talking about, it's using the zombie metaphor as a way of like eating a person, as in eating away at your success, and people only want you for the success that you have. It if you didn't have it, a lot of those vultures wouldn't be surrounding you. Along with Riot, which is just an amalgamation of different sounds of what sounds like would be a riot, which is a very interesting track to throw in here. Don't get me wrong, dude, Stand Tall is such an amazing closer to the album, especially that last little section of it where it kind of kicks up again and the harmonizing comes back through. It's such a beautiful piece, and I honestly, I can't wait to listen to this over and over again. It really feels like this album, I mean, I'm sure with most albums, it's an amalgamate. Oh my god, I need to stop saying that. Fuck it. It's just layers on layers of not only his feelings about the state of the world at the time, his realizations of the industry that he's put himself in, but also the worries on Baby Boy of him being a father and him being scared to be a dad and worried about the tension that he has with his child's mother, if that's going to lead to him not being able to see his kid much. What a wild concept to bring out into a 6-minute track like this. And it's something so deep, but so many people resonate with that kind of stuff that it's so important to have these kinds of tracks on these albums to have a sense of relating with one another. You know, when people post something on Instagram and it's like a reel of something that's super niche that you thought only you did, but then you look at the comments and there's like 5,000 other people who do the exact same thing, and you thought you were in the minority of that kind of thing and you were like the only one doing it? It's one of those things. He's not the only one to ever have these feelings, but having someone who's on this level being able to express them is very important. I don't know, dude. This was a rant. I just love this album. I've been thinking about it for days. I've been listening to it for days, and it's really a shame that I just never got into this earlier. I'm not sure how you guys feel. If there's any other, I mean, I've also listened to Because the Internet, but I'm definitely gonna give that another listen to as well. It is a bit longer. It is 19 tracks. But I mean, I'm looking forward to it. I know he released his most recent album, which I believe was the last one under the Childish Gambino name. I'm not sure if that's true, which is Bando Stone in the New World, which I believe is for a movie. So it's something that I'm going to have to get used to. I'll probably have to watch the movie to actually fully understand it. But the way that this man is able to articulate his feelings in a very, oh man, I'm a slut for jazz, dude. You give me some good R&B and soul music, and you got me hooked. Even though this is labeled as hip-hop rap, which, I mean, there's elements of it in there. The way that he's able to convey each message via each song, even without showing, like, having lyrics, is just out of this world. Especially on the Night Me and Your Mama Met is literally an instrumental with some harmonizing here and there. But it's nothing that is gonna give off any lyrics to exactly tell you what the premise of the song is, but you can feel it through the music. I don't know, man. My hand is stuck. I enjoy this a lot. I enjoy this record a lot. Please let me know down in the comments below if you're a fan of this record. I plan on doing more music stuff because, man, it is addicting. It is something I need to vent out because my family really doesn't give a shit. And I feel like I bore the hell out of them by me just being like, oh my god, did you listen to this track? Oh my god, listen to this one part over and over again. Isn't it so beautiful how it's articulating this message to share? And they're like, dude, I just want to listen to Pink Pony Club, Anxiety, and Espresso over and over again. And I'm like, brother, please. So please, down in the comments, chat with me, man. I would love to talk about this more. But yeah, guys, I'm the Sexy Viking. See you in the next video.